Dan Bradley was making an impact on the lives of students and educators long before his arrival at Indiana State University, especially at his former institutions, Montana Tech and Fairmont State. During his 22 years at Montana Tech, Dan held a number of roles, including Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs and Research, Dean of Engineering, and head of the Petroleum Engineering Department.
He loved to work, and he loved students, and he loved to be creative. And so when you were with him, it was just magnetizing that you were just drawn into that. You got up excited to go to work for Dan.
And what Dan was and is and will always be excellent at is connecting people, creating an environment within which they can flourish, and trying to create the conditions that allow them to do their best work and be their best selves.
While in Butte, Dan and Cherie were known for hosting gatherings at their home, which sat on a hill overlooking campus.
That house was kind of a metaphor for Dan and Cherie's impact here in Butte.
Dan's legacy at Montana Tech is still being felt on campus today.
I mean, really, even now, even today, I think about him all the time. Like, I'm putting together a lecture, or I'm thinking about a meeting with my students. I think about kind of like, well, how did Dan approach this? What did I learn from him that I want to pass on to the students that I have now? I mean, he probably doesn't realize it, but he had a huge, huge influence on my life and my career.
Well, I think about the legacy that Dan left here in Butte. Writing one Upward Bound grant for our campus has turned into us being, our campus having one of the largest operations in the Northwest United States for low-income first-generation college prep services and college success services.
After 22 years in Butte, the boys were grown, and Dan and Cherie were ready for a new challenge. Dan had heard of an opening at Fairmont State in West Virginia, so he did something that he had never done before.
So basically, Fairmont was the first and really the only job I applied for, and got it.
Within a few months, Dan was president of Fairmont State and immediately began to address challenges facing the institution.
And that's what began a tremendous era of growth and building and wonderful opportunities for the school, and set us on the way to the future.
And what type of impact did Cherie have at Fairmont State?
Cherie is an equal partner in the operation of the presidency with Dan, and she was here at Fairmont State as well. And they have a very good, open, honest relationship, and it's fun to see them spat at one another. I always saw them on what was that, the game show where people are traveling and they're trying to compete with one another, and I always thought they would be hysterical on that show because the arguments would be spectacular.
Dan had a dramatic and lasting impact on Fairmont State that still exists today, and the list of accomplishments are long.
The facility that we're in right now was one of Dan's accomplishments in getting the Folklife Center established. Not to mention the Falcon Center, the shop, or the parking garage, the new residence hall. Just so many wonderful things were done under his administration. Dan's work, I think, will always impact Fairmont State. He will have to be recognized in the future as one of our greatest presidents, if not the greatest president this institution has ever had.
After more than 7 years at Fairmont State, Dan and Cherie were ready for a new challenge. At about that time, Dan heard of an opening at Indiana State University.